started, I wanted to give you guys a little background info because this project has been ongoing for so many months. First things first, let me just start off by saying that I wanted to have a beautiful closet, which every girl does, right? Of course, we all want like a beautiful big closet where we can like see all our stuff and like our shoes and stuff like that. But of course, as you probably know, custom closets are very, very expensive. And as you guys get to know me through my channel and my tutorials and stuff like that, you will learn that I am a very frugal person. All my friends know this about me, anyone who's ever met me in real life, but it's okay, I don't care, I admit to it. I like being able to get the most bang for my buck, save as much as I can, because there are other things that I would like to pay for. Like, for example, I spent probably a total of $200 altogether for this closet project, whereas most people spend thousands on like building a closet, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, and it's more beautiful obviously than my little DIY project, but I'd rather save those extra few hundred on other projects to, you know, like it can go towards other projects. So that is what my channel is here for. I want to be able to show you guys how to do these things on your own and like not, you know, break the bank for it. So I really hope that my tutorials are like really helpful for you guys. It is the start of 2020. It is January 29th, so it's already been a month since 2020 has started. You guys have been asking me for tutorials for so long, like recipes, cooking, styling, like advice. Like there's just so many things that you guys ask me on all the time, and like I just never get around to it. So, you know, 2020 is the year that I am like, okay, go for it, just do it. Everyone's been asking for years, you need to just do it. So you know, like a lot of people always tell me like they don't really get a feel for my personality because I don't show it through my photos, obviously, and like on my story I don't show it either. So here on YouTube is where I'm gonna show you guys the most of it. Anyways, yeah, so this is gonna be my first tutorial of 2020. I'm super excited to show you guys. So ironically, I don't really have that many clothes. It's really no point for me to like keep a lot of the clothes that I have. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep the ones that like I really like, or like things that are really versatile. I only keep a very small amount of it. My closet itself is not focused on the clothing, it's focused on the shoes. So back to what's actually important here. So everyone probably already knows this, but IKEA sells bookcases. They sell them for probably about $30 a bookcase. It comes in like the 5-shelf bookcase, and you know, if you just need a one, that's obviously not expensive at all. But since I'm not buying it for the purpose of being an actual bookcase, I'm buying it for the purpose of being a shoe rack, because you know, that is like the cheapest alternative that you can have for a shoe closet or whatever it is that you're trying to build. I know there's like a ton of websites that sell this stuff, like Wayfair, like there's so many different options. Like trust me, I looked into all of them. So ultimately I came to the conclusion that the cheapest possible alternative that I can have for this closet is Bookshelves. So I did my research for forever until I finally got to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? It's a little ghetto. If you don't tell people, they're not gonna know. Like that's not what matters. If you do it right, it's gonna be beautiful. People are gonna be like, oh my god, wow, you did this for $30. Like that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like people love cheap shit too. So I finally came to the conclusion that Bookshelves were my best bet. But I also didn't want to buy $30 bookshelves from IKEA, because knowing that I had to buy 6, that definitely adds up. So I was like, you know what? Let me look into Target, because they have these mini bookshelves that are $15. It's $15.99, I believe, but I will say that they raised their prices on me, okay? Because when I first found them, it was $15.99 and they raised it to $20.99. I don't know why they did that, because the $15.99 is what got me, you know, like it was why I got it. They are the 3-tier ones, okay? They also sell the 5-tier ones for, at the time, again, at the time, it was $25.99, but now they raised it to $35.99. So it's more expensive than the IKEA one now. So look into it, see what's your best option. I mean, to a lot of you guys, like you're probably gonna be like, oh, like $30 is nothing. Like I'll just buy the IKEA one, which I will say, is actually going to be better for you, because IKEA does sell the shelves individually. So, you know, you can actually go in there and like buy just the shelves for like $4. You know what I mean? This shelf right here is exactly how the bookcase came. I have not altered anything. I have not made any changes to it. And as you can see, there is so much space in between all of the shelves. Like this right here, I could literally fit 2 shelves in between this right here and give myself so much space. So that was when I first initially came up with the idea of like, hey, like why don't I just buy more shelves or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they clearly make all these holes here for a reason, so that you can have the option to do that if you wanted to. After the fact, I wish that I hadn't been oh so cheap and did go with the IKEA ones instead, because I wouldn't have ran into this issue of like having to make my own shelves. Like I would have been able to just go into IKEA and like buy those extra shelves. But since I went the cheaper option and went with Target, they actually do not sell just shelves. I know, like it's so frustrating, right? It actually took me a while to like get all my shelves. Like I know it sounds crazy because it's only like $15.99, but I mean, like I bought, how many did I buy at first? I bought 4, okay? Because like I said, it was the 3-tier ones. So I pretty much underestimated how many shoes that I had. I thought that I would only need 2 shelves of shoes. I don't know why I thought that, because I don't know. I just don't know why I thought that, okay? So I thought that I would only need 4, because it would be like 2 and 2 all together. It would be like 4 shelves that made up 2 long shelves and make a 6-tier instead of 5, if that makes any sense. So like that was my thinking, so that was why I did that. But then like halfway through I was like, this is stupid. Like I'm paying it is not even $5, it's like $7. So it's like I'm paying $7 for like 1 extra shelf, you know what I mean? So later on I realized like that was stupid. After the initial 4 mini shelves that I bought, I went and bought a full-sized one. And then when I did that, I realized that they weren't even the same size. I was so upset about that, because like I read the dimensions, I like compared it, and I was like, oh, like they're the same. It wasn't. Like I don't know, like maybe I just looked at it wrong, or I don't know what happened, but they were not the same dimension. Like it's like this much thicker, and like I know it's not that much, but for someone who's as OCD as I am, that really bothers me. That's what happened there. So then like halfway through I was like, why am I spending an extra $7 for this? This doesn't make any sense. Let me just go ahead and buy the full-sized 5-tier one for $25.99. So then that's what I did. Once I realized that they were not the same size, I was like, okay, I need to like arrange this somehow so that it looks intentional, like so it doesn't look like I bought the wrong shelf, you know what I mean? So then I went and bought another full-sized one and then 2 more of the mini ones. So I'm gonna show you guys how I have it arranged. But yeah, so then what happened was when I bought the second full-sized one, they raised the price, $35.99. Like I was so upset about that. I was like, no, like I don't want to spend an extra $10 on this. If that was the case, I could have just bought the IKEA one. I know $10 does not sound like a lot, but when you have to buy 6 of them, $10 becomes $60. So that would have been an extra $60 that I would have spent. I was super annoyed because I was like, if I had known that I would have just went with IKEA to begin with, so that I could just buy these extra shelves and not have to put myself through this issue of having to like buy these fucking shelves and have to make it myself, you know what I mean? So that was my frustration, and like it got to the point where like I was just like so irritated that I kind of just like stopped working on it for a while. Okay, like I'm really bad at math, don't laugh at me guys, but the first 2 that I mean the first 4 that I bought was $15.99. Okay, I bought 4 of them, so it was $63.96. Then the second time when I bought the full-sized one, that was $25.99, right? So $80 altogether. And then when I went to go buy my second full-sized one is when they raised the price to $35.99. I had called them, right? And I was on the phone with customer service for like forever. Like I was calling them and I was like, hey, like I know this is like a really weird request, but like I bought this bookcase from you guys and like I want to buy just the shelves. Long story short, the lady called around and like found out that you cannot buy just the shelves. I was like, ugh, what am I gonna do now? Because my room is like filled with shelves and like there's so many spaces and gaps in between each one that I could definitely fit more shelves to fit more shoes in between these. So it's like, what am I gonna do? But it was like a very long phone call because she had to make different calls and like find out and all this stuff. But at the end of it, she was like, I'm so sorry, like we can't do this, like it's not even an option. So I was like, well, can you price match it? And then I was telling her about how like the first time I bought it, it was $25.99 and now it's $35.99. So she honored it. She let me buy it for $25.99. So that was really nice of them. So I was like happy about that I got to save my little $10, you know what I mean? So okay, so let me do $25.99, right? Okay, and then I bought another 2 small ones. So that is $15.99. $15.99. Okay, so all together for all 6 of my shelves, $138, which I think is pretty good because like I said, when I was looking online, the shelves that were specifically built for shoes was like $150 and it was just like one, you know what I mean? So I think me spending $140 for it is perfect. So I was like, okay, now that I got that out the way, what is the next cheapest alternative option I can get for these shelves, right? So it took me a while to do this because I was like, I really don't have time to do a DIY right now. It took me months before I was able to actually go to Home Depot and get this done. So I took one of these shelves off and I took it to Home Depot. And I showed the guy, I was like, so if you guys didn't know, Home Depot does cuts for you for free. It really depends on the person. Like if they want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna charge you or not, you know what I mean? Like I said, it really depends on the person. But you know, if you are gonna do a cut, you do have to make sure that you're going on a day that's not really busy, because if they are busy assisting other people or just like doing more important things, you know, like realistically, someone cutting a shelf for you is not like on the list of priorities of like things they have to do, which I know it sounds messed up, but it's true. So like make sure you go during the day on like a regular weekday, like in the morning, you know, like, I mean, not in the morning because that's when like all the contractors are there, but like around 10, 11, you know, like around that time, like no one's really there around that time. So you will have the best luck finding someone to like do a cut for you. So this is what I did. I brought this shelf to Home Depot and I was like, hey, I need to get wood cut this exact size. Can you do it for me? And for whatever reason, I thought that it was going to be a lot easier than it actually was, but it was not that easy to find like a piece of wood this size. It's really easy to cut this way. There was a lot of pieces that was like a little bit like wider, right? It would be like this much wider, and like it's really not that, or like some of them it'll be like this much bigger, you know what I mean? And like really, do you guys see that? Like that is not a very easy thing to cut. Like that's so small, you know what I mean? So it's like it was so hard to find one that was like this width but also this amount of thickness. So those are things that's really important as well, because obviously you can't have a piece of wood that's thicker than this because it's not going to fit in your shelf, or like it's going to look weird, you know what I mean? So the pieces that I found are actually a teeny bit bigger. I'm going to show you guys. So the piece that I found is this bottom one right here, and it's like a teeny bit thicker, like just a little bit, you know, just a smidge. Like it's not noticeable, so I was like fine with it, but like I wasn't about to make the guy cut this to make it the exact dimension. Like that's stupid, you know what I mean? And you know, like my guy, I don't know, like he didn't really cut all the pieces the right size. Like if you could see, like this is like a little bit shorter, which I'm like annoyed about, but you know, at the end of the day he was really nice, so I'm like, okay, let me not complain. But yeah, you know, like I totally could have cut it myself. Like I have the tools to do it. I mean, not here, but like I have uncles that have it, and I could have just went over there and did it myself, but I was like, let me go see a professional. So like I'm a little annoyed, just a little bit, that, you know, this is not the right size. But I mean, luckily it's not like that. I mean, actually this is like one of the better pieces. Like this is not so noticeable, but I'm so OCD that this is actually gonna bother me, because it's like when you put it in the shelf, it's gonna be like a little too short, you know what I mean? So I think that's more so why I'm annoyed. Okay, the first 4 pieces that I did were like perfect, like they fit in the thing like perfectly, so like I was super happy about that. But like for the next couple ones, the cut is like a little bit off, so I know that I'm gonna struggle a little bit to like slide it in smoothly. I know it's not a lot, but it is gonna make a difference. So you know, like when I'm actually putting my shelves in, I'm hoping that it's not oh so noticeable, you know what I mean? So we will see how that goes. So there are these little notches here, and that is where the shelf pins go. So he was telling me, he was like, hey, like they don't do those holes, like you're gonna have to do it yourself. And I was like, okay, no problem, like whatever, I can do that. So let me tell you guys, It is not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I mean, I did 4 already, so like by the time I got to my 4th shelf, and by 4 I mean, okay, so like each shelf itself has 4 notches. Okay, if you can see, there's like 4 of these, so it's like I have already did 16 of them by now. So by the time I got to my 4th board, I was a pro. Wait, one more thing. I'm gonna assume that if you guys are watching this, then you don't have a work table. I mean, obviously if you were a pro, you wouldn't even be watching this video to begin with, right? So I am working right here on my kitchen table and on the ground. Obviously that's not ideal, because if you're going to be drilling stuff, you don't want it to drill into your glass table, and you don't want to drill it into your floor. And I have hardwood, so I don't want my hardwood to get messed up, and I'm pretty sure that you don't either. So with that being said, if you have a work table that is specifically meant for drilling and wood cutting and stuff like that, use it, of course. But I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you don't have one either. What I did was I layered up all these cardboard to put on the ground so that I don't mess up my floors. This is where I'm gonna be working off of. So what I did was I just put my piece of board on top of it, and you can actually see like right here, because this was the top one I was using, you could see like all the little mistakes I made, and like the drill was like going into it. So I was really happy that I thought ahead and actually did that, because I would have been so upset. Let's finally get started. So, the very first thing you're gonna want to do is line your boards together as perfect as you can get it. And then just make a little notch. Just make a little thing so you know where it's gonna go. So now that you've done that, push your board back and just extend the line, and that's pretty much where you're going to drill it. Okay, all you're going to want to do is make sure that you have like a nice and stable, you know, area, and then just drill away and just be super careful. Just a fair warning, it does take a while. So as you can see, this is all it's done so far, which is pretty much nothing. But you know, I'd rather take it slow and be super careful. Like I'm kind of doing it at an angle now so that it could start to like carve out that area right there. So it's still not really as deep as I need it to be. So let's do it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. I think it's a nice and deep enough notch now. So I'm just gonna take my little Dyson and like vacuum as I go, just because I don't want like wood pieces on the ground, you know. It probably needs to be a little bit deeper, but yeah, so you guys get the point. That's pretty much all you do. Okay, so I just did all of the notches on this board. It's a lot easier for me to do it off camera. I didn't think that was something I really needed to go in depth in for the video. You guys got the idea. By the way, this is something that I like to do while I'm already on the ground. I do it right after I make the drills. This piece is actually not that bad, but a lot of them have these really bad frayed edges. So I just use my little sanding block to like kind of take it off and smooth it down some, because it's gonna be a lot easier for you to put your contact paper down on like a smooth surface, obviously. So just sand it off, that's it. Super quick and easy. And just make sure you vacuum right after you do it. If you're working on the ground, you're not gonna want someone to get splinters, obviously. So just make sure you vacuum right after you sand. I just drilled all the notches into all my boards, and let me tell you guys, that is probably the worst part out of this whole entire project. So what I did when I got this contact paper was I measured how long my board was, and each of my boards are 2 feet long. So I made sure to get a piece of contact paper that was 24 inches long, because obviously 24 inches is 2 feet, right? This contact paper was probably, I want to say $10 on Amazon. I leave a little bit of space right here so that you could just fold this edge over. You're just gonna slowly peel off the rest of that edge. Okay, I'm gonna pull it from the bottom. You're gonna peel that off slowly. When you're rounding your corners, you want to make sure you get it as tight as possible. So, I mean, you could use the credit card for this, but I find it a lot easier to just use your finger, you know, and just smooth it down like how I am right now. As you can see, I only have like a little bit of the contact paper right here, and that's because like this is one of the boards that I plan on having at the bottom, so like it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just gonna go ahead and trim off this little excess right here, just so when I fold it down, it won't be like overlapping. This is gonna be the back part of your board that goes into the shelf, and this is the front part, the part that actually gets seen. So it's one board down, 8 more to go. So here is my very first board. I am losing the light. It's getting pretty late in the day. I mean, it's only 4 o'clock, but you know, 4 o'clock is when the sun starts to set nowadays. So I was really anxious to just show you guys, and I wanted to see if all my hard work is paying off, and I wanted to see if it fits. So here goes my very first board, and I'm really hoping that it fits. So here goes. Oh my god. You guys, it's perfect. Oh my god. Okay, so you know how I was super worried about, well actually no, all the cuts are a different size, so this is probably one of the better fits, but oh my god, it's perfect. It fits perfectly. Like, I can't believe I even got the notches to fit. Like, you guys don't even understand. Like, I know it seems like such a small deal, but like, I have been struggling to drill these little holes at the bottom, so I can't believe that it fits perfectly. Oh my god. Okay, so yesterday I was super anxious to get started. As you guys can see, the shoes look so much better. Oh my goodness. I mean, I didn't get a chance to like do this little section right here, but if you guys remember the before, this whole piece right here went all the way down. So look at how much space I saved. Yeah, so I pretty much got a head start on these two just because I was so anxious to get it done and like put the shelves in and fit it and stuff like that. And I'm really sorry that you guys couldn't see it. It was just a little bit too dark. Okay, so I'm running into a slight issue. If you guys can see, this board obviously is not the correct size. This is one of the ones where he cut way shorter than it was supposed to be. These are the shelf pins that I've been using for all of the other ones. This is the little pack that I got from Amazon. It was like probably like $11.99 or something like that. And it comes in a variety of different types of shelf pins. It comes in 120 pieces. Here are the different types right here. I really like it because it comes with this long piece right here. This is the one that I've been using for all the other ones. For the shelves that were cut a little bit too short, this would be more ideal. So let's see how that goes. I only have 15 of these longer ones. Just to preserve it, I'm only going to use it for one side and hope that it works better. That should be good, I think. Okay, so this was the shelf that was cut a little off, so you can see how it doesn't fit perfectly in here, which is gonna annoy me, but that's why I'm putting it in this little corner here, so when you walk in you won't be able to see it, you know what I mean? There we go, that's much better. Okay, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a few where I have it going 4 in a row and a few where I have it going 3. It's because I don't have enough to fill the space with. In order to fit 4 on a shelf, you have to do like one shoe facing forward and the other facing back, like these are right here, because if you don't do that, it's gonna take up all the space and you can actually only fit 3. Well, it's like 3.5, but like what good does that do, you know? So if you want to fit 4 in a row, what you're gonna have to do is put one facing forward, one facing back. So right now for this row, I'm just gonna put 3 for now. Oh, you know what, I forgot, Miss Lola just sent me this pair this week. So this is a brand new pair that I'm gonna be adding to my shelf, and I'm actually gonna put it right up here because this is the only snakeskin one, and it will look better with this one because it has a black sole. I know, like, I'm so OCD, but it's pretty funny because these shoes are so similar. Let me see if I can do like a side by side so you guys can see. Okay, so that's how a lot of my shoes are. Like, I have so many shoes that look similar, but like they're different, you know what I mean? This one is from Miss Lola and it's like snakeskin and it has like a square toe, and this one it's just more, I don't know what this shape is. It's like a trapezoid type of shape, I don't know, but I mean, this is why I love shoes, because you know, sometimes it just depends on your mood. But yeah, so I'm gonna add this right up top right here. The shoe is so cute, I love it. Put this back, reverse it so it actually has space. I'm in love with my little collection, and you know, I'm like so OCD. I don't like when the straps are just like all over the place, so I'm actually gonna wrap it just to make it a little bit neater. But that's anyone though. Like, I feel like everyone, like if you're even organizing, then obviously like you care about being organized. Okay, I think this looks so much better being able to put the snakeskin one down here because it was kind of throwing it off a little bit. Okay, so I have this boot right here. I actually don't know what I want to do with it. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to color coordinate it by style, or do I just want to color coordinate it in general? And I think I'm leaning more towards just color coordinating it because I don't have enough neon yellow boots to have like its own little section, you know what I mean? So this is the only exception I have in my shoe closet where like it's a boot by itself with the rest of the shoes. So now that I'm gonna force it in here, I actually am gonna have to do the little reverse shoe thing just to be able to make it fit. And I'm gonna be honest guys, I have never worn this shoe before, like ever. I mean, the only time it's ever been worn was during a photo shoot and one of my models wore it. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was for my my merch shoot and it looked great on her. It was so cute. But for me, my issue with boots is that they never stay on my thigh. So I actually had to buy, oh, it's right here actually, let me show you guys. So I actually had to buy like a skin adhesive. It's a body adhesive, okay? I got this from Amazon. It was like probably $8 or whatever, but I had to buy a skin adhesive so that boots will stay on me, because boots never ever stay on me. Yeah, so that works great. I got it recently, so I still haven't had the chance to like wear these boots yet, but yeah, they look great. One of my favorite boots. Okay, so I don't think that this little gap here is noticeable. Like, it's not one of those things that's gonna be like, oh, so bothersome, you know? So yeah. Wow, look how nice that is now, you guys. It's so organized. I mean, it was organized before, but it's just really nice that there isn't like that big gap anymore. And now I probably have space to add 2 more shelves on this. Well, however many I was able to fit up here, I will be able to fit the same amount down here. So that's really nice. Before, if you guys remember, all of these shoes were stacked from top to bottom and there was like no space to put anything. And the fact that I have space now to put like an additional 2 shelves down here is really nice, because that's like an additional 4 rows, you know. I don't know what the math would be, but I could fit probably another like 12 to 16 pairs of shoes just down here alone, which is really, really nice. So I'm so happy already. So there it is, guys. I hope you guys love this video, and if you are inspired to also create your own shoe wall out of bookshelves, then please leave a comment and let me know. I would love to check it out.